because I have to be so extra in so many ways, I have 21 fragrances. I cannot wait to wear this fall, and I'm gonna share them with you guys today. 21. Why 21? Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Aleisha Budget Beauty. My name is Aleisha. Here on my channel, I love all things affordable fashion, beauty, and fragrance. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, fall fragrance, extravaganzas, all sorts of fun things. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, and be a friend like my friend Jamie, Not Another Perfume channel. She and I are collabing on this video together today, and I'm super excited because I've actually been trying to hunt Jamie down to do a collab for quite some time. I just adore her. Fell in love with her channel, fell in love with her as a person, and I just thought she would be the perfect person to do this collab with me because literally when I open up my YouTube, she's one of the first people I go to watch her videos. I enjoy her so much. She's so down to earth. She's an amazing mom. She's very, very talented. She even paints canvases. I discovered that the other day. I'm like, what can this lady not do? She's incredible. She has a deep, deep passion for fragrance, which I really appreciate. So she's doing this collab with me today, and I thank her so much. You guys have to go subscribe and watch her video. If you love fragrance, or even if you're a novice in fragrance and you just want someone to speak to you about it in a way that you'll understand and that will make you start to get interested in it as well, you have to go follow Jamie. She's amazing. Let me go ahead and get into these fragrances because I do have 21 because of course I do. I have no reason for having 21 other than the fact that I was pulling some out, and then I realized when I counted, I was like, crap, I have 21, and I did not want to even stress about taking one out. I was like, if I picked out 21, we're going with 21. Now, these are 21 fragrances that I'm just super excited to wear this fall. It's not necessarily my top fall fragrances. It's not even all the fall fragrances in my collection. A lot of these are ones that I got in an off season, and I may really like them, but I just know they'll be so much better in fall, or maybe I had them at the end of last season. I didn't get to wear them enough. So these are just ones that I'm so excited and can't wait for the temperatures to get a little bit cooler where I can wear them and enjoy them. And being someone who is such a summer hot weather girl, finding joy in fragrance has really helped me to enjoy cooler temperatures because it's something I can look forward to. I have to cling on to those things or I tend to get depressed seasonally. So these are going to bring me so much joy. So let's go ahead and get into it because my intro is already very long. Okay, actually, I'm gonna grab what I have on because I just filmed a TikTok with it. This is 5 Cents Burn For You. And I enjoyed this one so much because this is basically a fireside campsite, a something side with fire, marshmallowy fragrance. That's what this is. It's Madagascar vanilla, it's cedar, and it's amber. So it's very warm. It's very toasty. You literally can like feel yourself by a fire toasting your marshmallow in this fragrance. It's the ultimate fall fragrance for me. Traditionally with my kids, my husband and I, we do camping. As soon as the time change happens, on a weekend night, we do a little fire in our backyard. We toast marshmallows, we tell ghost stories, we play all the fun songs, we play Thriller, we play Ghostbusters, all the good songs. And this is absolutely going to be my fragrance because it's just what I think of in that moment. This is fall in a bottle to me. Love this one so much. Cannot wait. I'm wearing it right now even though it's warm outside, but to get in the spirit of the video, that's why I wanted to wear this one. Next we have this one by Demeter. This is Blueberry, and I can't remember when I got this exactly, but I think it wasn't quite, it might have been at the very beginning of the spring, it may be very end of winter, but you guys, this is a blueberry muffin in a bottle. It is so photorealistic blueberry to me. Blueberry muffin specifically, not just blueberries, but blueberry muffin. We used to have this restaurant here where I live that was famous for their blueberry muffins, and their recipe was supposed to be real secret, and then they went out of business, and it kind of got out there that it was this imported blueberry juice that they used to make the blueberries, and then the blueberries themselves would be blue purple. That's what this smells like. Like, it takes me back to those delicious blueberry muffins, and I just think this one's going to be so fun for fall time. Even winter time, I could see this too. It's definitely not a spring summer fragrance to me. I'm just like, I want to be cozy. I could picture myself wrapped up in a blanket and a little like hot tea and just like smelling like a fresh blueberry, I almost said biscuit, but I just wanted to have alliteration, blueberry biscuit, blueberry muffin. It is so fun, so inexpensive. I get all of my Demeters off of Fragrance X. I can't ever find them cheaper. And I'm talking like $15 or something for this big bottle. They do not last a long time. I don't care. It's like $12 for 120 ml. It's fine. I wouldn't expect to pay anything less. So Blueberry by Demeter is gonna be so fun this fall. Now, this next one I love so much, and this is definitely a little more, I say adventurous and niche, but this is not that outside the box in my opinion, but it would be different for a lot of people. This is Serge Lutens Bois Vanille, and this was one of my kind of first like experiences with especially a niche vanilla. So this one actually has vanilla, coconut. I do not smell the coconut really in this though. It has licorice, it has beeswax, and then it has woody notes in it as well. So it might sound very, very strange to you, and that is where we get into niche. There's some notes that you don't typically see in mainstream fragrances, but you guys, this, as soon as I smelled it, I thought of my grandparents' house. They had a lot of wood, like wood paneling in their house, and they were avid readers. And this is like a library, kind of dusty book vanilla fragrance to me. They also had beeswax in their drawers because apparently way back in the day, beeswax was used for a lot of things. So they kept some beeswax in their drawers where they had playing cards and freshly shaven pencils. And then they also had this little incense burner on top of the desk. And this just makes me think of my grandparents' house so much. It is a beautiful, richly woody vanilla that's very unusual. And it's funny because when I first got this, I was like, this is the most unsweetened vanilla I've ever smelled. Like, there's no sweetness in here. As it has set, it has definitely gotten sweeter. And when I first spray it, you get a lot of that beeswax, a little bit of that woodiness. And then after a while, the vanilla really develops in this and gets much sweeter. And actually, I was wearing this yesterday because I wanted to spray it and think about it. And then I started exercising a little bit after that. And when I started to sweat, I was like, oh my gosh, I smell like the sweetest vanilla, but not a fake vanilla, just like the most like realistic sweet vanilla. And it was this, there's something about my body heat activating it. It just kind of changed this. If you want to dabble into niche and you don't want to go too crazy and you're sick of like all the same old vanillas, you guys, I highly recommend this. Serge Lutens Bois Vanille is the way to go if you want to dabble in that area. All right, next is Rafat by Paris Corner. And this actually, I realized yesterday, reminds me a lot of the Bois Vanille. This one has elemi, it has black and pink pepper, and it has vanilla, and I believe, what was it, cedar? This one is sweeter, I think, right off the bat than the Serge Lutens, but you get a lot of that same feel, that academia, dark library, sort of like there's, you know, rich history around you and these dusty books. And, you know, this is like an intellectual vanilla, which may sound very esoteric and strange, but it makes sense to me. I think if you smell that, you know what I'm talking about. This is also a dupe of Baby Cat, YSL Baby Cat. That is a cult favorite, like extremely highly reviewed fragrance. And this performs so freaking good. You guys, I sprayed this last night at about 6 o'clock, right before I cooked dinner. Literally at 10 o'clock this morning, it was still on my arm. Now I did do 3 sprays on my arm. Still, that's bananas. The performance is so good. This is easier to get a hold of than the Serge Lutens. It's also cheaper. So it has a similar vibe to it though. I cannot recommend this enough. Like, I was so obsessed when I got this in, but I got it in, I think, the beginning of spring. And I was like, oh my gosh, come fall, winter, this is so sexy. It is so elevated. It smells so expensive, but it's not. If you are looking, again, for something that smells a little more niche-like, vanilla-wise, you want something that's not too sweet, that's very sophisticated, and you like a little bit of that. It's peppery, but not in a spicy way. It's more in just this kind of like, what is that sort of way? You guys, I could go on and on about Urfat. I love it so much. Highly recommend this one if that sounds good to you. Okay, this next one is Tonka Jour, and this is by Gallagher Fragrances and Pearlescent Perfumes. So the overall arching brand is Gallagher, but then they have these flankers that they call Pearlescent Perfumes. Number one, I love the bottle. I love this marbled blue cap here. This is a Texas brand, and I'm a Texas girl, so love that. But basically what this is a woody, champagne-y blueberry scent. It does have some pretty strong patchouli going on in this, and you guys, y'all should like play like a drinking game responsibly for how many times I qualify my relationship with patchouli. But I never know if someone's new on my channel that I have like this, not really love, this tolerate-hate relationship with patchouli. And sometimes it works in fragrances for me, and sometimes it ruins it. And in this, I feel like all it really does here is make this a very beastie strong fragrance. Like, this is a 2-3 spray for me, and that's all that I need. It's very long lasting, but mainly I get this blueberry in a very different way from the Demeter. The Demeter is sweet blueberry muffin. This one is more of a woody, drier blueberry. It's like you fresh pick blueberries, you know, not baked in something sweet, but fresh picked blueberries in a basket in the woods is what I get with this. I really enjoy it. It has to be cold for me to wear this. I tried to wear this a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, I think, on a hot day, and it was too much for me. So I know this is a cooler fall fragrance for me, so I'm excited to wear it. All right, next we have, I feel really bad sharing this because I don't think it's available anymore. This is Moon Milk by Gavin Lux. Now, in my last video that I did, a collab, was the transition fragrances summer to fall. I showed you guys Untitled. That was a dupe for the Cirque du Soleil fragrance. This one, Moon Milk, got brought back out, I think because I was throwing a fit that it wasn't available. My amazing friend Janelle on Instagram sent me a sample of Moon Milk. I fell in love with it, hopped right on Gavin Lux's website and saw it was not there. And I was like, excuse me, how dare you? How dare you send this to me? Made me fall in love with this fragrance and I can't get it. So she kind of hounded the owner, and then the owner brought back out a limited amount of bottles with the Untitled. I bought it, and now it's no longer available. But this is so freaking beautiful, you guys. This fragrance, it is the most delicious, yummy, milky, cookie, lactonic-y vanilla. It is so pretty. It smells a lot like a graham cracker dipped in milk sprinkled with some sugar. It is so pretty, and it's such a beautiful layering fragrance. I actually layered it with Rafat last night. Magic, absolutely magic. It brought out the sweetness of Rafat. And you guys, just keep your eye on this brand is the point that I'm making. I'm going to be wearing it this fall, and I feel really guilty that you guys can't get your hands on this one anymore, but keep your eye on the brand because she has amazing fragrances. Okay, this next one is brand new, and I got this for my birthday from my mom. She was like, what do you want for your birthday? And I was like, I want Love Fest Burning Cherry by KLE. And she's like, come again? Because I knew she had no idea what I was talking about. I sent her the link to Sephora. I was like, just go in the store or something or buy it. Like, that's what I want for my birthday. So this is, notes are on the back, so I'm just gonna read it. Burning Cherry, Raspberry, Praline, Palo Santo, Gaiac Wood, and Patchouli. This is such a fall fragrance to me. It is cherry pie with like a little incense going on in the background, or cherry pie in the woods is what I get with this. Now, cherry fragrances are like played out. They've been done and done and done, and a lot of them are very similar. I will say this isn't extremely different from the other cherries out there, but I just feel like it's one of the best done of its kind. So there's, you know, the Tom Ford Lost Cherry. There's the Cherry Baby that just came out by Sabrina Carpenter. There's all the dupes of Lost Cherry. There's the Seven Virtues cherry fragrance. I just feel like this one is done so beautifully. It's a perfect balance of that cherry note with a little bit of woodiness, and you know, they got that Gaiac wood, and the patchouli doesn't really stand out in this at all. And I think it's that raspberry that kind of makes this a little bit different, where it's not just on the nose cherry or not on the nose cherry Lutens coffee drop. It's like just a really rich berry, smoky berry pie is what I think that this is. I love it so much. The bottle's gorgeous. So happy to have this brand new for me. So I'll be wearing it a lot this fall. All right, let's move on to A Whiff of Waffle Cone by Imaginary Authors. This, you guys, is actually, it kind of puts me in the same place as the 5 Cents Burn For You. It has that toasty, kind of fireside, burnt vanilla sort of scent to it. Also has notes on the back. And I will say, this is their first version. They have since reformulated this, and it's almost identical. I want to say there's maybe one note different, but so I don't have the newer one. But this is vanilla, heavy cream, salted caramel, amorous, orgate. I'm not sure. Orgate. That's a note I don't know. I'm going to look it up and have what it is on here. Saigon Cinnamon Ice Cream Shop. So it is like a cinnamony, kind of like you walk into an ice cream store and the waffle cones got a little bit singed and burnt, and then are sprinkled with some cinnamon, and then your scoop of vanilla in there is what you get from this. It is so fun, and I love this when it gets colder. It's too much in the warmer months for me. Perfect when it starts to get a little bit chilly. It is so fun. I think this is the safest of the Imaginary Authors fragrances. If you want to dabble in niche and you like something kind of sweet and vanilla-y, this is the safest one to purchase from Imaginary Authors. I say even blind buy, if those type of fragrances sound good to you. Can't wait to wear this more this fall. Very, very excited. And also, if you have Soda Snob by Sniff, if you put those together, it is like an ice cream soda toasted. Such a beautiful combo. Okay, next we have one that I wore this last Thanksgiving. This is Montaine Perfumes Arabian Orient. It is raspberry, caramel, and saffron. And it is so beautiful. This is a very strong fragrance as well, very potent. It is this rich, like the raspberry is very, very rich and deep in this. And then the saffron gives it a little bit of this exotic spiciness. And then the caramel just kind of smooths it out. So it's kind of like this, it's almost dessert-like, but not too gourmand. I think there's something else in here. I'm not sure, there's only 3 notes listed on here, but it smells patchouli or woody-y sort of in the base that kind of grounds it and doesn't make it just a purely gourmand fragrance. It definitely smells like an expensive designer perfume done really, really well is what I think that this smells like. I'm telling you, this was perfect on my Thanksgiving last year. I think it was around upper 50s, crisp outside, And this was just, it was perfect, absolutely perfect. I actually need to try more from this brand now that I'm thinking about it. So if you want a deep raspberry, a woody deep raspberry that's a little bit exotic, I would definitely try this one. Okay, this next one really could be worn year round, but it is Dead Cool Extra Milk. And I haven't had the full size bottle for very long. I just recently got it in maybe like a month ago. And I have been saving it because it's such a cozy scent. So this is amber, musk, and bergamot. That's it. But it's weird because, I mean, it is called extra milk. And their original milk has the same notes. It's just not as amplified as the extra milk because as far as I know, they came out with milk. People really liked it. It was a skin scent, but they wanted it to be even stronger. So they just amped it up with this one. And this is a skin scent that lasts forever on me. I had a sample of it in the Discovery set, and I mean, 10 hours later, I could smell it. So I was like, oh, I love this. Like a skin, because a lot of times skin scents, they're meant to be close and they're meant to smell kind of skin-like. So they don't usually project a ton and they usually don't last a long time, but this baby lasts forever. So I think this one is so perfect. Like say you're going out and about for the day in fall and you're gonna be apple picking or like pumpkin patching and whatever, or you're just gonna be gone all day long and you just want to feel cozy and be able to smell something really good on your skin, but it's going to last all day long. That is absolutely this fragrance. It's also a perfect layering fragrance, and it does have this sort of like milky quality to it, even though that's not a note in here. It's my favorite skin scent. I love it so much. All right, this next one here is currently my favorite tea fragrance. This is Viva Moore's Tea Temptation. I also just love this bottle as well. I just think it's so lovely. And this one is Earl Grey tea, cardamom, you have vetiver, amberette in here, some musk. So this is so cozy, and the opening spray is this really bright sort of herbal Earl Grey tea. Like it literally smells like photorealistic Earl Grey tea. Once this dries down, the orange blossom in here, the musk, the amberette, it really starts to give this warmth and this beautiful almost skin scent with the tea. And it is so pretty. It transforms beautifully on the skin. Even my pug is screaming about it back there. I've only had a chance to wear this a few times because I do think this one's actually one that works year round to me. It's not too heavy for summertime, but it's cozy enough for the cooler weather. But I've been kind of hoarding it a little bit, thinking I think I'm gonna enjoy this the most come fall time. Can't wait to wear this more. If you're interested, oh my gosh, my pug. Why is he so excited about tea? If you are looking for a new tea fragrance, I highly recommend Tea Temptation. Okay, this next one is a dupe for Valentino's Born in Roma. And this is actually by Oakcha. And I'd always wanted the original because I really love some of the flankers like Coral Fantasy and Green Stravaganza, but I had never purchased the original. And I honestly was kind of planning on doing that at some point. And then Oakcha sent this over, and it's so good, you guys. It's just as good, I think, honestly, as the original. And I love this one because I think it's the cashmeran in the base and the Gaiac wood that really balances out the heavy jasmine in here, and then your fruity notes on the top, like your black currant. And I just think this one, I wore it to a baseball game a while back, and it wasn't a really hot day. It wasn't cool either, but I thought this is so pretty, and come fall, I just think this is a perfect everyday scent. I think it's perfect during the day or for a date night scent. This could be a signature scent, I think, for a lot of people. So if you don't want to pay the money for the original, the Oakcha version is really, really good. I don't even know if I said, this is called Love in Rome, but it is the dupe for Born in Roma, the original. Now this next one, I have a video reviewing all of them that I tried by noise. So you may have already heard me talk about this, but this is Lost and Found. And I love this one because it is a very bright, citrusy, woody fragrance that really works for me. Sometimes citrusy, woody fragrances just for me aren't my favorite to wear, like light blue. I know a lot of people love that fragrance, but for me, it's a little too dusty. This one has other things going on, like there's rhubarb in here, raspberry, there's some pink pepper, and then you do have the bright bergamot at the top, and then the base has some cedar and a little bit of sugar. So it's just the right amount of sweetness, and then the right amount of tartness with that rhubarb and the bergamot. And this one really made me think when I first tried it, I was like, this is a truly like in the woods citrus in a way that feels fun and feels different for me. It doesn't feel dated. It feels like a newer take on a Dolce & Gabbana light blue. So if you've always kind of been like, man, I want to like light blue, but it's missing something, you might really like this. And it's not often that I like a citrus too in the fall, but I think this one is perfect for fall. Okay, this next one is a duo fragrance. This is Cherry Hookah, and it is actually a dupe of Vice Bomb by Simone Andreoli. And this one is, I think, my other favorite cherry fragrance in my collection besides the Love Fest Burning Cherry. And this one does not smell like all the other cherries out there. It's cherry and red fruits. You have some caramel, ylang ylang, which I don't really smell in here. Ylang ylang is, you know, like a tropical floral. I don't smell that really in here. You have some vanilla, some precious wood, some tonka bean and amber. So it truly smells like a hookah lounge, like a cherry hookah. So if you know what that hookah smells like, it doesn't smell like burnt smoke. Like it smells like hookah. It's like a cloud of that cherry, very, very realistic to that. It's very smooth with the tonka bean and a little bit warm. And then that like cherry and the red, it says red fruits. So I don't know if that's a collective like raspberry, cherry, what other red fruits are in there. But it's very fruity, ever so slightly kind of like powdery in that kind of billowy smoke sort of way, and very smooth with the tonka bean. I really like this one. I think it is so good. And if you are looking for a cherry fragrance that doesn't smell like cherry cough drop, doesn't smell like all the other cherries out there, I would highly recommend this one by Dua. It is Cherry Hookah. Okay, this next one is really, really new to my collection. It is the new one from Orebella, and it is Nightcap. If you don't know Orebella, that is the Bella Hadid fragrance line that I have the travel, but the full sizes really look like dark crystal, you know, like Hobbits. I kind of panned when the brand was coming out. I was like, I don't know. But honestly, I really, really enjoy this travel. I still don't know if this is one that I would really want a full size of, even though I think it's really beautiful. And the reason for that is this is a very close to the skin scent. This is ginger and cardamom, a little bit of woods and vanilla. So it basically smells like a ginger ale with vanilla, or like a cream soda with some ginger in there as well. Like, you know, kind of either or. I love the way it smells. I think it's gorgeous. It is one of those I have to put my nose right up to it to smell it. It is a perfect nighttime scent. It'd be a great office scent. It's a very cozy scent. If I'm planning on an evening where it's, you know, chilly outside and I'm just gonna sit on the couch and wrap myself in a blanket and sit like this would be perfect to have on because I could smell it on myself. I would feel very relaxed. But it is not one for like if I want other people to smell me, and I wish it projected more because I think it's stunning. It's also one that you're supposed to shake up and actually like rub when you're not usually supposed to do that because it has oils in it. It's supposed to be hydrating on the skin. I think it's an interesting and cool concept. I don't know if it's perfectly executed, but the scent itself is so good. Okay, this next scent, Pure Excess by Paco Rabanne, is what I call my skanky sexy scent. Okay, I just do. It's got a snake on there. I love it so much. It's a little skanky, but it's good. Okay, so you're probably like, what are you talking about, girl? This one reminds me so much of like designer back in the day. This is rich, it's deep, it has a popcorn note that I wish was more prominent. It's a very, very, very subtle. You have to kind of know that it's there or you will miss it. It has coconut, it has ylang-ylang, peach, orange, it has sandalwood and musk and amber. I don't know if I said vanilla or not, but vanilla. And so it is this like kind of messy, deeply rich, provocative, alluring, just sexy. Like this is like you put on your sexiest dress and you got a little sloppy, maybe drink a little bit too much in the evening, but like every guy's head is turning and looking at you and you're dancing on the dance floor like, yes. That's the, and maybe you're back even in like the early 2000s is what this kind of gives me. But it also smells expensive. It doesn't smell trashy. It doesn't smell like, you know, you're a $2 hooker. It smells like you're an escort who likes to have a good time. It's very specific. I love this one. Okay, I could go on and on about this one. It is discontinued, but you can still get it on discount sites. And I do feel like it is solely a nighttime fragrance and a colder weather fragrance. For me, it's a good date night scent if you want to. I love this one. That is Pure Excess by Paco Rabanne. Okay, this next one I also think is a perfect date night fragrance for fall. And this was another one that my friend Janelle sent me a sample of, and I was like, why don't I have this? I love this. It is Trésor la Nuit, and it is by Lancôme. And this one, I wore it during the day to test it out. It was a hot day, and I was like, this is way too sweet and way too pretty to be wearing on like a hot 100-degree summer day. I need to be wearing this in the evening. It's chillier on a date night. This is so girly and sexy and sweet, but very, very, very sweet. I'm actually going to read you the notes on this because there's a lot going on. This is pear, tangerine, bergamot, strawberry, vanilla orchid, black rose, passion fruit, praline, caramel, lychee, vanilla, patchouli, incense, coffee, licorice, coumarin, and papyrus. That is a lot going on in this, but for me, what I get in this is this sort of deep, dark, sensual coffee rose with some woods and then like beautiful fruity sweetness on the top. So it's sexy, it's very feminine. It's definitely nighttime to me. That coffee, I think, is what I really like about this. And to me, I do not like black opium. It doesn't sit well with me. The patchouli, and it ruins it for me. But in this, the patchouli and the incense with all the other notes, the coffee and the fruits and the black rose, it just works. I really, really love this fragrance. Cannot wait to wear this more this fall. And it's definitely another date night fragrance. Okay, this next one is by Bold Label. I absolutely fell in love with Maya by Bold Label. It was featured in a summer fragrances video, but this one is Romeo and Juliet. And this one is perfectly named because I also think this is so sexy for a man or a woman. I am gonna read the notes on this one too because I think the notes are really interesting. It is boozy peach, chocolate, lavender, saffron, blueberry, bergamot, clary sage, aged whiskey barrel, ione beta, which is dry wood, red berry, and then suede, honey, and orris. This is another one that when I first sprayed, I'm like, oh, that's really pretty. It smelled a little masculine when I first sprayed it. but I was like, enough where I think I could pull it off. But then after about 30 minutes and it dries down, I'm like, oh, okay. Like a little bit more feminine qualities come out in it, but not so much that I don't think a man could wear it, but enough where like a woman that wants to feel confident and sexy and alluring could absolutely wear this one. I really love this little brand. Nikita is the name of the owner and the perfumer. He's so passionate about what he does, and I think he has amazing ideas. I really love this one. I highly recommend maybe trying out samples or even travels of his fragrances to see if you really like them, because I think he does niche in a very wearable way, and not too out there, but very interesting, not your run-of-the-mill fragrances either. This one I've been dying to actually wear for fall, because when I got it in dead of summer, I was like, oh my gosh, oh, so good. That chocolate in the beginning, this boozy, peachy chocolate in the beginning is beautiful. But then actually like the aromatics when they kick in the mid, and then you have that whiskey barrel also, and then a little bit of the woodier base to it. It is so pretty. Love this one. If you're into niche at all, you have to try out Romeo and Juliet. Next up, let's talk about Burberry Goddess. Now, I'm like the millionth person in line to talk about this fragrance, but I highly disagree with people who list this as like a summer vanilla. I saw a lot of people say, oh, summer gourmands, summer vanilla, summer fragrances, and would have this in there. And I'm like, I don't agree. I mean, it's fine if you wear it in the summertime. I don't think it's horrible in the summertime, but I think this is the perfect fall vanilla because there is a spicy quality to this. It does have ginger, cacao, and lavender, and then the rest is basically a vanilla bomb. So this one caught me by surprise. I don't think I was expecting that because I didn't read a lot of reviews or watch reviews when it came out. I just knew everyone was loving it, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna blind buy it. And when I did and I got it, I was like, what? Like, people really love this? Not that I didn't, I just was surprised because I think this is a little different and harder for people to love that are more mainstream type of fragrance people. But for me, I was like, this is a really interesting and beautiful vanilla. I personally love lavender, so I'm happy that that's in here. And then it's that cacao and that ginger that give it just this spicy kick to it, but in a very smooth way. And I just get more fall feels from this, absolutely. So I've been kind of holding this one back. I wore it like a few times this summer, but I'm like, this is really gonna come to life for me in the fall time. I would get if you're one of the few that have not smelled this, I wouldn't blind buy it if you're not adventurous with fragrance. I would definitely go smell it first to see if you like it, because I could see some people not really, that, aren't adventurous, not liking it, but I personally love Goddess. Okay, this next one is Father Figure by Fleur, and I adore this fragrance so much. And again, this is another one I've been kind of hoarding because when I got this, it was at the very, very end of spring, starting into summer. And I thought this is appropriate for spring because, but I thought fall, like this is where this one is going to thrive. So this is a fig fragrance, and it also has some greenness in here. And the iris in here and the orris kind of make it this powdery, sort of milky fig. So it's not like a straightly green fig that is like an unripened green like fig. There's definitely some smoothness to this and some sort of like fluffy cloud, not a ton of sweetness, but just like this fluffy, powdery cloud of fig that almost takes it to an almond place. I love this. I think it's beautiful. It is one that, hits when the wind hits you. I have certain fragrances that when I'm out and about and the breeze hits is when I really am like, oh, that is this one for me. I've been hoarding it. I'm not gonna wear it all summer long because I just don't quite think it's a summer fragrance. This is definitely gonna be a go-to for me this fall. If you like an almondy fragrance, but you haven't really tried a fig, this is probably the one for you. All right, my very, very last one. I think it's such a special fragrance. I love it, but it's probably not the easiest wear for everyone, but I want to talk about it because I really love it. This is Celebration by ALEISHAGOMEZ, and this came in my olfactive monthly subscription that I get. I get 3 samples a month, and I personally fell in love with this fragrance. Now, opening very first spray when I got the sample, I was like, It was a little too harsh, too green, too balsamic. But on me, and even just now, the first like 5 seconds was like, whew. Right after that, I love what this turns into. This is a very natural, rich, organic honey fragrance with some resinous notes in it, some balsamic notes in it. And if you know those tubes of honey that you get in like an all natural organic store, we're not talking about the honey bear that's like $5 for the big bottle. We're talking about a tube of honey that's like $5 for a stick because it's such high quality. That is what this honey smells like to me. And I had never found a honey fragrance that truly smelled like honey. Most honey notes in fragrances have this really weird thing in my nose that I don't enjoy. This one smells just like realistic honey to me. Now there's also supposed to be cacao in this, and I have a friend, my friend Sarah, who's a big fragrance person, doesn't like cacao or chocolate in fragrances typically, and that's all she can really get out of this. I personally smell no cacao. Now I like a cacao note, so I would be fine with it, but to me, all I really get is that photorealistic, rich honey, and a little bit of something floral that would be as if the bee carried over the honey, to the flower, and like the aroma that you would get around it, but it's mainly the honey. I fell in love with it. I think it is exquisite. I think it is beautiful. In my opinion, this is a masterpiece. And I think because I finally found a honey fragrance that I love, I'm just obsessed with this. So probably not a safe blind buy. If you can get a sample of it, I would recommend it. Or if you do love that scent of an all natural honey stick, you may really, really love this. And I just think, I don't know, I'm excited to wear it. I think it'll be perfect this fall. I think if I added cinnamon to this too, that would be a beautiful combo. All right, you guys, those are my 21 for no other reason that I couldn't pare it down. Fragrances for fall that I cannot wait to wear. Like I said, I have more than this. I plan on doing more different types of categories of my fall fragrances. So this is not it for me. I, again, thank Jamie so much for doing this with me. I'm really excited to see hers. I love how she describes fragrances. So you guys be sure, go watch her, go subscribe to her. She's an amazing, amazing mom and a fellow YouTuber. That is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping, and smelling fabulous. Bye.